Okay, now to the Middle East, where President Trump is demanding compensation for Americans and Iranian protesters after the Islamic regime called for reparations for its own war.
Yeah, a tall task for President Trump's negotiators. Chief foreign correspondent Trey Yingst is live in Tel Aviv with the latest. Hey, Trey.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. President Trump indicating that all options remain on the table to deal with Iran as a diplomatic standoff develops.
You said this last round of talks was Iran's last chance before decapitation. So what now? What comes next?
You'll find out.
Are you still, are massive escalation, is that still on the table?
Well, we have that, certainly that ability if we want to do that. Yeah, you'll find it.
Late Monday, the president responded to Iranian demands that compensation be paid in order to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump posted to Truth Social in part, but it is an interesting idea because now I am likewise demanding compensation from Iran for all of the people that they have killed and gravely wounded with their roadside bombs and many conflicts for which they are famous, as led initially by General Soleimani, including the families of those killed on the USS Cole and thousands of others killed in combat. Now, he said the families of killed protesters should also be compensated. The remarks do come as questions loom about the possibility of a diplomatic solution to reopen the strait. Currently, the U.S. naval blockade remains in effect, costing the regime hundreds of millions of dollars each day. Still, the Iranians remain defiant as technical talks continue with Oman.
As long as the U.S. naval blockade remains in place, under UN General Assembly Resolution 3314, a naval blockade of this kind amounts to an act of aggression. As long as other U.S. violations continue, the necessary conditions will not be in place for us to say that the Strait of Hormuz has become a safe waterway.
Here in Israel, the military remains on high alert with uncertain days ahead. Guys?
All right, Trey Yingst in Tel Aviv. Trey, thank you very much. Let's bring in the former Deputy National Security Advisor and Heritage Foundation VP of National Security, Victoria Coates. Victoria, thank you for joining the program. There's a bit of a debate between the Trump administration and the Iranian regime about who is actually in control of the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump says it's the U.S. Listen here.
It's open now. Look, the only one that has control of the Strait of Hormuz right now is the United States Navy. We have a blockade that's been infallible. It's a steel wall. And we let people in that we want to let in, and those people come in, and they've been coming in and they're going out. So it's actually open now. We do not let them go into Iran.
So right now, the economic consequences are building really for both countries. Of course, it's much, much worse for Iran. It's a game really of who's going to blink first. Is there any reason to think that Iran will blink first?
Good morning, Nate. No, I think there's every reason to believe that Iran will blink first for the simple reason that they're simply running out of money. And our UN ambassador, Mike Waltz, said yesterday, there's one man that they're really afraid of. And you know who that is? That's Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, that they are feeling this economic pressure like never before. And bear in mind, President Trump did this in the first term. We had the maximum pressure campaign. By the end of his first term, we had them down to single digits of billions of dollars of accessible foreign reserves. And that's default territory. So this isn't about them feeling pain. They're well past that stage. This is about them literally running out of money. They can't pay their soldiers. They can't pay their besieged, their security forces. That's when things start to fall apart.
And the war in Ukraine is entering a dangerous new phase, with Kyiv carrying out one of its deadliest strikes yet. They struck 750 miles within Russian territory, killing 13 and injuring 78. What does that long-range capability show you about Ukraine?
No, it's really a remarkable achievement on the part of Ukraine to have these long-range attack drones that they can now use well into Russian territory. And so they are responding to Russia's attacks on civilians in Ukraine, which are horrendous. But they're not just going to take that anymore. They're going to attack back. And bear in mind, we also have a very dangerous escalation in reports that President Zelensky was talking about yesterday, that some 50,000 North Korean troops are going to be deployed to Russian soil. So this kind of collaboration between Russia and North Korea is itself escalating, indicating Russia may be running out of people. They need help even more than Ukraine does.
Yeah, President Zelensky said that for the first time in history, Russia actually cannot carry out a war without North Korea's help. He also says that Russians at home are going to feel this war more and more as the days and months carry on. Victoria Coates, thank you for joining the program.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.